Going, and we're coming in at 10.
We are a go for show.
Hey, folks, what's up? You're listening to Real Laughs right here on Real Radio 104.1. I'm Mike Hurley, and we have a full house in this place tonight. Everybody is on this thing. I got this. This is more like a Zoom call with CNN, man. We got James John, we got Ken Miller, we got Miguel Colon Jr., and of course, from the law offices of Kaufman and Lind, we have Jeff Kaufman. Gentlemen, how is it we all ended up with a night off? How did that happen?
Sad state of my career.
Hey.
I don't know.
Another Manic Monday.
I don't know, man. I mean, Ken's got to be off tour. Miguel finally got a night off from the Sausage Castle. James got away from Michelle for the evening. And Jeff Kaufman did your passport get revoked? How are you in the same country at the same time as the rest of us?
I wish I had it because that Southwest flight got me home last night.
Yeah. Tell me what happened in Bogota that you're not there right now. It seems like there's stories to be had.
Medellin. No,
okay.
No, it was serious. It was serious. We had a ridiculous time.
Oh, good, man.
I've been having fun lately.
Didn't I just see, and like we'll get to everybody in a second, but didn't I just see a photo today of you in San Antonio, Texas, like last night? Isn't that a thing? Were you at some concert?
Heart of Texas. Yeah. Good, man.
I
took my office. I have a bunch of country people in my office, and I took them to the Morgan Wallen concert. So
I can imagine somebody was sitting in trial this morning, and he's just like, "Where is everybody?"
Morgan Wallace, Morgan Walker,
Wallen, top country guy right now.
Not Ken. That what you listening to nowadays?
I don't know. I know Morgan Gallo.
Yeah.
I don't know no Morgan Wallace.
I thought ever since Lil Nas and Crosstown Road, you were on that country kick. Isn't that what you're doing nowadays?
Bro. I know like 2 country songs, and all of them about cheating.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what most country songs are about. It's not like am I right or wrong?
It's all about women breaking your heart, man. It's always about a woman who did something wrong.
Man, it's all about pickups, dirt roads, jeans on a hot summer night, and beer. That's all you need to know about
country songs. Have a lot of product placement. They were like, I was at the Waffle House, cha-ching, and I was drinking a Miller Lite, cha-ching, and my Dodge truck was driving just right, cha-ching, ching, ching, you know.
I know Little Big Town, which is Girl Crush, and I know Sugarland Stay. What's the one when she busts the windows out the 4-wheel
Carrie Underwood.
I know that.
Know that. Ken lived that, man. That's Ken's life story right there.
Yeah, that was the other bar night for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Don't reminds me, James. You was there. You saw the ass whooping I got.
It reminds me of Dwayne Williams' joke. It's just like a hurricane doesn't know how to spell your name in the side of my car. That's right. That's right.
But they know how to put a bat to the side of it, though.
Somebody should help him.
Right.
As you sipping, Mike watched me get my ass kicked that night. Didn't even. He was like, "Yeah, that's Ken Miller, by the way." He was supposed to come over there and help me, bro.
Ken, not for nothing, but if there's 2 women yelling at you, and one of them has you by one hand off your feet against the wall, what made you think there was anything I was going to do in that situation that was going to help? That was like an Amazonian woman, dude. That was like Wonder Woman. Like she would put me in the truth lasso, and I'd be telling all your secrets. It's a good thing.
You should have came over there like Steppenwolf and
Steppenwolf.
No protectors here.
I would have, Ken.
No Kryptonian.
I would have, Ken. I was on a date at the time. I didn't want to get my shirt ruffled up. I was on the way to Gringos. You know?
I'm so sorry. I embarrassed Mike so bad that night. I'm so sorry, Michael. I haven't apologized to you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, could you stop getting in fights in front of me? That'd be great, man.
Here's the truth, though, Ken. If you were in front of a bunch of open micers, they were just in shock, like, damn. He got 2 girls one day.
but Mike, the season comic was like, dang, Ken got 2 girls. He's stupid.
Yeah. Mike was like, 2 girls in the same state? You dumb, Ken.
Let me tell you, there's now 2 times now I've been at a show setting when Ken decides he's going to get in a fight with someone. And both times, so many people go to support Ken. And I just go grab the drop microphone and go, stage time.
Gotta work on some jokes here.
Someone has to keep the audience maintained.
Hey, hey, just so y'all know, for a disclaimer, this was before I got married. So
yes.
My wife's friend listened. I heard Kim knows this is before.
You guys hadn't even met yet. It was a while.
I like to think that Hurley shaking his head because you got 2 girls in the same state, and James is just sitting there like, Michelle gonna whoop my ass for knowing Ken.
Hey man, look here.
So your friend want to go around step out on his girl, huh? Oh, baby.
I told him not to do it.
Yeah, told him not to do it. Hey, bro, let me tell you something. Ain't nobody out here that I know married have a healthier sex life than James and Michelle.
So
yeah.
That's all they do. That's all they we hung out Friday night and they were both a little buzzed. We talked about this on the show last night, and they were both buzzed. And I know they went home and did the nasty.
Oh, everywhere. Oh, everywhere. Laundry
right
room.
after IHOP too, yo.
We did it at IHOP, day laundry room. Yeah.
Now I know you're lying. Waffle House don't do laundry.
No, IHOP, not Waffle House.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's why he raced home after shows. He's like, "Yo, James, we're 4 hours away from home, and we got to do a show again tomorrow." Yeah, we going home tonight.
Yeah, we going home tonight.
I'm like, "What do you mean? We got a hotel." Yeah. You can stay. You can do whatever you want. I'm going home tonight.
But if you fly right back to Florida, we're leaving in 2 hours.
It's 7 hours away. Oh, we'll make it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
gonna turn around, go there, touch and go, and come back.
I'm gonna toss you the keys in Atlanta.
Bojangles, so that's
That's true.
Michelle's just standing outside like the people who hand runners water, but she just got her panties. Come on.
Oh, that's funny.
Crazy, bro.
Well, Jeff, I'm glad you're here tonight. I know we like having you on and talk about stuff, and I always hate when I gotta ask you about legal stuff, but there's one thing going on, and maybe you guys touched on it last night, but it's really, really bothering me, and you know it was gonna come up because not only as a lawyer, but as a Disney fan. What's going on with Disney, man? What do you see happening with this whole Reedy Creek thing? Do they? How bad is it?
You know, I think the phrase "don't start none, won't be none" that's got to apply.
And to just reiterate, just in case there's anyone listening who doesn't understand what's going on, I guess so. Disney was like incorporated as its own municipality, and they paid property taxes, but then they also covered the cost of all the things that property taxes usually cover, correct? Like law enforcement.
There's a lot of bills they don't pay.
There's a lot of bills they don't pay. Also,
they don't pay. Don't make it. This isn't a pro Disney thing. The fact is that Disney came in, spread a lot of political money back in '68, bought his own municipality. You know, they don't pay for permitting. They don't do a lot of things. No other business in the world has gotten this benefit, and this is how it happened. The fact is that a bill got passed that dealt with teaching third graders and below any kind of sexual stuff, whether it be gay, whether it be transsexual, transgender, whether it be anything. And it upset some people. And the president of Disney, what's his name? Kopak or whatever his name is.
It's Michael Eisner until they bury me.
He didn't say anything. So he had some people later on go, "Hey, listen, you know, we're upset. We need you to say something." So he goes, "Okay, I'll say something." He gets out and says, "We disagree with it. And not only do we disagree with it, but we're going to try to get this overturned. And we're not going to donate any money to any campaign." So it wasn't like he just pushed his opinion. He said, "Listen, we're going to actively fight this." Okay. So the governor goes, "All right, well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my buddy to bring the bill up. And in 4 days, we're going to take away these hundreds of millions of dollars of benefits that you've gotten by doing this stuff." And this is what happens politically when you get out there and do something you shouldn't do.
Right, but here's the thing. How much of this do you think is just political grandstanding? Because from what I've been reading, honestly, they really don't have the power. The legislature doesn't have the power to do it. Like, they could go after the $531 billion they have in tax breaks for Disney, but they're going for this. And in the laws of it, if you want to overturn this personal, what Reedy Creek is, it has to be a majority of the landholders in that district voting, which Disney is 100% of the landowners of that. So at this point, it seems like a futile effort just to make the gesture to show his supporters, "Look, I'm going after the people that came after us." But there's no legal ground to do it. What's that?
See, we're all opinionated people. We all have our opinions. We learn our stuff off TV or the internet or wherever we get it.
Right.
But you know who really knows what's going on? The stock market.
Right.
And that's in the last basically 3 weeks. Disney has tanked 10% of their value.
Right.
So if imagine what it would cost to buy Disney right now. What $1 trillion, $2 trillion, whatever. We're talking easy. A loss of probably about between $200 and $400 billion. And as a company owner, like, for example, I'll give an example. Let's say James was on the radio and he said something dumb. That got all of us canceled.
Give me 2 minutes.
Yeah, that got us
Listen to the
canceled.
first 2 seasons of Real Laughs.
He got up, let's say he got up and started to say some really homophobic stuff and got us all kicked off the radio. We would go to James, what were you thinking?
Yep.
Because we all have a responsibility to each other. And as a CEO of a company, like there are a lot of political opinions I have that I don't say anything. I know better because I don't want to cost my staff, the people who rely on me, my family, you know, any money that you're thinking about. And that's what he did. And yes, the governor is a mega douche in this situation, but you did it. You know, you can't say that you know, he got up there, he threw his stuff out on the table and got smacked.
Well, can't we go a step further
out.
then and say it's kind of the same for government to go in? I mean, you're talking about personal and private things and stuff like that. So for the government to even put that bill out there in the first place, doesn't that seem like you're going against other people's lifestyles? So even as a government, should we the
school bill,
the one that's labeled "Don't Say Gay"?
Yeah, we pass laws all the time that affect people's freedoms. We do it every day. Every law you see passed, like for example, 2 years ago when we all got conned into voting for the no casino rule. There was at least $40 million spent by Disney and the casinos that exist right now to make sure no casino ever got built again in the state of Florida without it happens. Rights get taken and pulled every day based on political choices. So it happens every day.
With this DeSantis thing, though, I mean, if he's here for no, I'm talking about right now. This DeSantis with going against Disney, don't you think there's a bigger problem that it seems more of a personal thing of him against Disney and not caring about taxpayers of Orange County, whose property taxes are going to go up 20% if this actually
why do you think they're going to go up 20%?
What? Because we got to absorb the cost of the debt of all Disney's paying right now.
Got to pay the taxes. They got fees and taxes they're going to have to pay.
They got fees and taxes, but they're not going to increase. It actually works out better and more profitable for Disney if they get that taken away, correct?
Then why would they not have given it back? You're getting conned. You're getting conned by people's opinions on the thing. If Disney could have made $200 million by giving it up, they would have gave it up.
They're already paying $100 million a year to taxes to themselves to keep that going, though. You don't think
when a police officer comes and takes somebody away, they pay him as an independent contractor. We're going to pay you for that one time taken away. That means they don't have to have a full-time police force. They can just pay as they go. And that applies to a lot of things. For example, if you wanted something,
Reedy Creek doesn't have a full-time police force?
No, not the jails or anything. OPD takes people in.
They got their own fire department, though, right?
Yes.
Sure do.
And emergency services, right?
Right.
So if this gets pulled away, we're picking up the cost of those,
No,
right?
they'll have to pay the taxes for that. There are taxes that Disney doesn't pay that because of this. And there's also other issues too, like
what taxes does Disney not pay that cover that? Because I thought they paid property taxes. I thought they paid $280 million on property taxes.
How much?
$280 million.
280 million. 55,000 acres of land.
Yeah,
I paid 9,000 on my home. How much do you think Epcot's worth? I mean, you don't realize they're not paying their 280. Oh, they pay 280. That's because they have all that property. How much do you think a hotel pays? $1 million a year? This much? They're not even close to paying their share.
I'm going by all the numbers I read today that were saying everything I've read was showing that Orange County
everything they decided to go up. Or Orange County, no taxes are going up. It's not,
you don't think so?
You didn't see, or the mayor of Orange County didn't go, hey, listen, we can't afford this. The mayor of Osceola didn't come out and say, we can't afford this. You know what you did? You read it on the internet. You read whatever they gave you. And the truth is, if Disney thought they were paying too much, they would have gave it up. There are issues that they have. For example, when they want to build something, they don't have to go through the same thing we go through.
Well, you don't have to get permitted or anything, right?
There's no permitting. I guarantee if they want to build a wall, somebody just rubber stamp something in comparison to this 5 hours.
Be honest with me. Be honest with me real quick, Jeff.
Yeah.
That figure you represented, did it, didn't he?
No.
He did it, didn't he? And be honest, but it's okay, Jeff.
It's over now. Yeah, you said it's over now.
I can tell you something right now when you talk about weird stuff. These managers were told to lie in the trial I had. So I can tell you that anything they want, they get. And you know, anytime a CEO does something like Musk steps out of line, Bill Gates steps out of line, you know what happens? They start investigating their company. That's just the way things work.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, you know, and I guess I'm going to have to do some more research on that because I've taken the Disney thing very, very personally. So I've been reading everything I can find on it, and everything I've read kind of goes against some of the things you're saying, but I'll look into it further. And it's funny you brought up Musk because he just bought a new plaything, and we're going to get to that. But I think we got a special guest coming up when we come back on Real Laughs. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. You're going to find out who it is right here, Real Laughs 104.1.
We're back, Real Laughs on Real Radio 104.1. We're your nightcap of comedy. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And remember, find us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and all that stuff. I have taken over the big chair from my dog, Mike Hurley, here because we got a special guest in studio with us, man. Hey, dog, let me go to them accolades. HBO, Showtime, Stars, NBC, 30 Rock, Comedy Central, one of the New York kings of comedy. And he will be at the Orlando Improv this Thursday, April 28th. I'm country. I can't say the name of the show. What's the name of the show?
Boricua Comedy Tour.
And there you go, because I can't say it. I'm country. Bro, I can't say Boricua. Bro, I can't say Boricua.
Boricua. I'm gonna tell my wife.
Boricua, bro.
There's not an N in there. There's no N in there.
Butane. You know I can't say
Ken Miller.
Boricua is a black girl from the projects.
Ken Miller, with as many Latin women as you've dated, you can't say Boricua.
I say Boricua. But hey, Mark, I did something for you tonight, bro. I wore my Knicks shirt for you tonight.
You go.
I don't know if you Knicks of Brooklyn, but
no. I'm always gonna be Knicks. But I always gonna cheer for, you know. I was cheering for Brooklyn to that downfall that I witnessed. You know, I had to turn the game off. I'm like, I'm turning it off.
Hey, it was like they were playing the Globetrotters.
Hey, bro. Hey, Boston's defense that good.
Is this the real Nets? Like, I felt like it was I thought it was like the version where they was like goofing around. Like, no, everybody, don't play with your right hand. Like,
the whole team got stuck in the Lincoln Tunnel, and the practice squad is out there right now.
Hey. The replacements.
Yeah.
The replacements, right? They was like, I was like, who are these Nets, you know?
I know, right?
Hey, Mark, we start every show off with this, man, because we're comic book guys. We love the origin story. So I always ask you, how long you been doing comedy? Where did you start? And how was your first show ever on stage?
Okay.
All right. So I've been doing comedy now for 20 years. If you minus the year of the pandemic, I'm going to call it an even 20 years. Mm-hmm. I started doing comedy at a place called Stand Up New York on 78th and Broadway in Manhattan. And my first show was actually incredible. It was a really, really good show. It was a typical New York bringer show that was correlated to the how do you say, the comedy workshop that I was taking. Okay. So I took like a 6-week comedy workshop with a comedian that was passed at that club in New York. We have a process called being passed at the club, meaning you
talk about that.
You have to give up one of your kids. You gotta, bleed, you gotta sell.
Mark, did they take you in the basement and they prick your finger and like burned a saint in your hand? And
exactly. You gotta kiss a ring. Yeah. And then after that, you got to be funny, and it's called being passed. So this comedian was passed at the club. She was actually being managed by the club owner at the time, who was a manager for comedians. And then she had like a graduation class. I did that. I mean, a graduation show for anybody who took the course and wanted to do the show. So out of maybe 18 people that took the course, only about 9 of us did the show, the actual graduation.
There you go. Gotcha.
I was one of them. Dean Obidala of MSNBC fame, political comedian, also used to be a writer on SNL, was the host of the show.
Wow.
And I did 5 minutes. I actually did very, very well for my first show. I was nervous as all hell.
As usual.
As per usual, but I actually did pretty good. Got a lot of laughs where I was supposed to. And Dean, at the end of the show, Dean Obidala, Stand Up New York is like a bar first and then the showroom. So I leave the showroom because you can't talk, in the showroom. I leave to go
not
outside
New York.
at the bar and just chit chat. And Dean Obidala brings up the next comedian, comes out and goes, "Damn, how long have you been doing comedy?" And I go, "That was the first time ever." And his face, was just like, that's impossible. That's impossible. Like, that's just impossible.
He's like, that's when I realized I had to kill that kid.
And so that was many moons ago. But that first encounter with someone who had been around stand-up for so long, really, it's still to this day is a driving force behind my stand-up, because you always need fuel for the fire, you know.
Amen.
And especially through the pandemic and through all the highs and lows that brought, you know, a lot of comedians gave up, man. They're running businesses now. They're working at companies and blah, blah. You know, it took a lot for me to say, I belong here. This is where I belong. This is, you know, people have reasons, but this is my purpose. You know, I'm here. I'm here for this.
Go ahead,
bro.
Jay.
Mark, I got to say, man, it doesn't surprise me at all watching you work throughout the years, all the clips you have up on YouTube. Your energy is amazing, bro. It's infectious. Did you start out with that stage presence when you first did it?
I did, even though the material wasn't funny. So what happens is what happens is when you have a lot of energy and you're not funny, you feel stupid.
Gotcha.
Because you put all this, you do all this, you know, you know, and then people are still like, because there was not a lot for me to talk. You know, you know, the thing when you first start comedy is that you don't know anything.
You don't have nothing to talk about.
You have everything to talk about, but you have no way to get there. You
don't understand the structure of what you're doing, like the technical part of it.
There's so many technical bits and pieces to this, that you can have a very funny premise with not a funny punchline. You can have a very funny punchline with not a funny premise, and a way to, you know, you could be cursing too much. That happens to a lot of comedians. Every other word, I effing this, effing that. Then I went home and an effing kid broke my effing leg, and the comedy gets diluted because you don't know what you're doing, and you're so nervous that you just talk, and you know, so much, man. Look, I love the energy I have now. I feel like I've kept it. Right, I've kept it, and now it's met the
talent has met the actual energy.
Yes. Yeah. So now it comes over as, damn, this dude, like this, you know what I mean? Like this is hilarious. Like, it was the way he looked at me, the inflection. This, you know,
it's every bit like the way that you write comedy, and I'm telling you how you write. I'm sorry about this, bro. But Mike, the way that you perform your comedy, the way you say the joke, every movement is not wasted. Every movement you do is to add a little bit more depth, a little bit of visual to the actual things you're saying. So it adds to it. No movement is wasted. No words are wasted. So, bro, my hat's off to you. Big fan of what you do, man.
Yeah. And I've opened for you twice, so I've been there. We did West Palm. We did the Levee, Cincinnati. We were selling merch on the porch at 17 degrees. We was
and I love you. Bro. And it was like, yo, Mark, are we doing this? I said, man, we ain't got no choice.
We
don't have no
merch,
choice.
Man.
I appreciate that.
I want to talk to you about something. You know, me and Hurley have been on this TikTok rampage for the past few months, and I've noticed, man, you've truly embraced TikTok and social media. How hard was that for you as a comic who's seasoned? Because, you know, when we're seasoned, I ain't doing no social media, but dude, I see your TikTok clips like crazy now. So how was that for you to embrace that?
It was difficult because it's not that I wrote social media off, is that I was closed-minded with it, to use it just for going on and saying
promoting
things,
shows and
promoting
more as a promoter than as a content creator. And once I was able to, especially during the pandemic, when I was like, man, I better be on this social media. Because if I don't come out of this better, then I've wasted all this time moaning and groaning. You understand? Like, because every comedian, everybody who was affected, the radio, you know, that was affected by the pandemic, whereas, you know, you had to stay home and you were kind of locked in. I said, I gotta get better at this. It has to be. And so instead of going on social media blindly, I created a blueprint of what I wanted, what I wanted from the audience. And then I went the reverse and said, now what do I do to create for those people, for the young people, the older, right? Because there's not a lot of, you know, look, anybody really over 40, 45 is on Facebook. right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
anybody under that is on TikTok.
Trying to log into their MySpace.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
True that.
You see what I mean? So I was
Yeah.
like, look, I gotta break down the barriers that I'm setting up for myself and just embrace it. And how I did that was I said, okay, I have a teenage son who was trying to get me to do all the dances. Dad, you gonna go viral if you do the dances. So here I am. And I left those videos up. If you watch it, you'll be like, no, he did the dances.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm watching a couple now of you and your son. And I'm just happy you're still here, man. It looks painful. That's ridiculous.
Right. And then I said enough's enough. If I'm gonna get him, I'm gonna get him with this comedy because I've been funny for a long time. What might be old to me might be new
to someone else.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I'm realizing, wow, I'm getting comments and compliments from the UK, South Africa, you know, all over the globe now, based on a set that I did for Martin Lawrence, you know, First Amendment. The first video that went viral was that one that has 5 million views. And you know, thousands of comments. But I had hair, you know. I had a full-blown blowout in that chair. I was like, you know, so I'm like, all right.
I'm looking at you at Gotham Comedy Club. You're like a different person, man. You're like you got the pompadour kicking and everything. It's great, man.
5 jersey on.
Yes.
Oh man,
I do that as a joke. I'm like, man, y'all don't know I'm 20 years in this, man. I was doing this comedy when I had beautiful feet.
You did.
Yeah, man. April the 28th, this Thursday, we got Mark Viera at the James. What's the name of the show?
Boricua Comedy.
Boricua. There's no N. There's an R. Boricua.
Man, bro, I'm country. Hush your mouth.
Say bored.
Mark,
say bored.
We got about 3 minutes. Hey, talk about the New York Kings of comedy, man. How's that? Are you still touring, or what's the deal with that? Because I've been to one of those shows.
Hey, absolutely. Hey, salute to those guys, by the way, bro.
Yeah. The tour is amazing. Let me start there. I believe one of the strongest compliments of comedians doing it today is myself, Capone, the gangster of comedy, Rob Stapleton, and Talent.
Rob Stapleton.
Talent. You know, Talent had, I think, 20 years with, you know, WBLS in New York on radio.
Yes.
A stellar career on radio. And to be honest with you, these are 3 of the funniest dudes on earth to me. You know, I mean, just hilarious. So the tour is still going. We'll be at Levity Live in New York, June 30th through July 3rd, so 4th of July weekend, and it's just amazing. When I tell you, all I do is compliment their funny with my own sort of brand of humor. So.
And now you're out on the Boricua comedy.
Let me clarify. Boricua is just the term that we use for Puerto Rico. So Puerto Rico, the original name of Puerto Rico is Borinquen. So that's the original native name of Puerto Rico. The United States gave it the name Puerto Rico, but Borinquen is the name of the island, and Boricuas are those who come from. So that's Boricua is just, you know, the lineup is Puerto Rican.
How long you been living in Orlando, Ken, and you learning about Boricua and Borinquen and Tainos and stuff now?
Orlando is like Puerto Rico light. It's like
there's a
bro. I'm country. I just can't say Boricua.
Mark, there's a warp tunnel from here straight to Bayamon, like straight up. you just drive, and next thing you know, you're like, where am I?
Hey, man.
Ken, we're gonna take you over to Cimarron one night and just hang out and hit some food trucks. Culture you up, Ken.
Hey, before we go to, man, we got to just mention for Mark, because Mark's one of the people that is connected to us, Ken. He's one of Los's boys, man. So shout out to Los Entertainment, man. Yeah,
Los is such a good
Los
person,
are good
man.
people, bro. So that's our people, Mark. So we
well, Mark, thank you for being on the show, man. This Thursday, Orlando Improv, April 28th. Go get your tickets. I've worked with Mark numerous times, and I love you, brother. Thank you so much for kicking it with us. Go ahead, drop the social media so we can get you up out of here, my man.
All right, everybody. First of all, thank you guys for having me on the show. I really appreciate you. I'll see you Thursday. It's going to be a movie, so you got to get out there Thursday in Orlando. Follow me, Mark Viera Comedy, on everything, especially that website, Mark Viera, Viera.com. Everything right there. Thank you guys again.
Thank you, man.
Thank you,
The
bro.
Boricua.
Hey, it's getting better every time.
Hey, man. Hey, we'll be right back with Mike Hurley. He will be back in the big chair. Stay tuned.
Maybe.
Real Last Real Radio 104.
Hey guys, welcome back. You're still listening to Real Laughs right here on Real Radio 104.1. I'm Mike Hurley in virtual studio tonight with James John, Ken Miller, Miguel Colon Jr., and from the law offices of Kaufman and Lynn, Mr. Jeff Kaufman. Now, we were just sitting down with Mike Viera, and Mark. Well, you called him Mike twice, man.
No, James called him Mike. I've called him Mark.
Yeah.
James slipped up and said Mike, and I ain't say nothing. I figured he had you on his mind.
Well, I was just saying it. So I was making whoever said Mike not feel bad. But yeah, we were hanging with Mark.
I was
Viera.
about to just pull the mic out and be like, I don't need to be on this if we're not.
Yeah.
Also, my Spectrum was going to kick off at any
Y'all
moment.
know I'm country, bro. I can't say Boricua, bro.
Boricua,
bro.
Say bor. Say
I think
bor, and then say equa.
Boricua.
That's as close as you're going to get it. And that's good.
I thought you were trying to say Bonita and kept getting thrown off.
Bonita
Hey, the
she got it
Bonita
going on.
Springs comedy show this Thursday.
Yeah.
Bonita Spring.
Yeah. Well, guys, it was great talking with Mark Viera. He's going to be at the Improv Thursday night. Is that where he's going to be?
Yeah. He's there this Thursday, the 28th. I think show at 7:30. Improv Orlando. ImprovOrlando.com. Go get your tickets, man. He is funny. If you don't believe us, go check out his TikTok clips. His James in line, his energy, bro, is, and you know I'm an energy comic. So when I would open for him, we would mesh so well together, dude. I probably went on the road with him like 4 or 5 times, and it was some of my favorite shows, man. So please go check him out, man. This Thursday, funny dude.
Yeah, he seems like a good dude, man,
and cool as hell too.
Well, before the break, or before we sat down with Mark, not Mike, we were talking about some stuff going on over at Disney and all that other stuff. But then also talking about big money. You guys hear what Elon Musk is just deciding to buy just because?
Elon Musk bought NBC.
No,
Elon Musk bought the left side of the earth.
They threw in the right side just because he seemed like a hell of a good guy. Yeah,
they were like, we'll give you the right side. He's like, I want the left.
But here's the thing, man. 44 billion?
Billion?
Like
he put on his winter coat and was like,
for Twitter? For Twitter, though, like I honestly, am I the only one who doesn't use Twitter at all? Like, 44 billion seems like TikTok money.
Bro, I felt like it wasn't much. Like
44 billion? What's the
streaming platforms are like in 100 billion?
Came all uppity on us.
I don't know.
44 billion.
I thought streaming platform. Let me check out the streaming platform. Let me be.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess it's just because Twitter is my least used out of anything I have.
Oh hell yeah, at all, yeah.
And this is why I didn't know. I know a couple of weeks back he was talking about Twitter offered him a seat on their board, right? Yeah. And what I didn't know is the reason he rejected that is as a board member, you're only allowed to have a 4.5% stake in the company or something like that. So that's why he turned it down, because he's like, no, if I do this, I want to be in control. So he's been pitching this, and Twitter's stance for the past everything I've been reading has been like, we're against this kind of takeover. We're not cool with this. And then all of a sudden today, it's a total change of heart. It's like, 44 billion sounds pretty good.
Mike, you ready? You ready, Mike? All right, so we're gonna start at number 1. Of course, you know who's the most. It's be Facebook, which is 86 billion. YouTube 19 billion. WhatsApp 5 billion. Instagram 6.8 billion. TikTok 35 billion, Snapchat 911 million, Reddit 212 million, Pinterest 1.6 million, Twitter 3.7 billion, and LinkedIn is worth more than Twitter, 8.5 billion.
So Twitter is only worth 3.7 billion, and he offered 44.
He offered 44 for it.
This is the guy that goes in the same house market and offers like twice what I'm offering.
Yeah. And the house is worth 100,000. I give you $1 million. Okay. It's 2-bedroom, 1 bath with no running water. Give it to me.
And I guess what I've been reading about it is there's a couple of things that come up. Number 1, Elon's like, you know what? I want to make this a place of free speech. Okay, that sounds scary already, because free speech means different things when it comes out of different people's mouths. He also wants to get rid of advertising and spam bots, but then you don't pay 44 billion for something you can't make money on. So now the word going around is he's going to sell subscriptions, which I don't see myself paying for Twitter when I don't even use it when it's free right now. So, Jeff, are you on the are you a tweeter? Are you on the Twit?
No, I have it, but I don't use it.
Yeah.
What I always find out I do is I have like 7 different apps that post to like all 7 things at the same time. But there's no way I would open 7 different apps. Now there's something he's trying to do. He believes that there's no, when we talk about freedom of speech, it's very important to see who edits us. And if you don't think you're being edited, just type the word COVID and a Facebook post. Just type it in and see what happens on the bottom of your post.
Oh, well, even now I was reading about a new thing Google's pushing out that if you type something like mankind, it actually pops up a suggestion saying, do you mean humankind?
No,
I'm
I
like,
don't.
That's going a little bit. I don't know.
You have a lot of people doing some shifty stuff, and they had congressional hearings on it to see how it affects elections. How does it affect this? And we are having decisions made for us through what they call moderators. People who moderate certain things, and they go, well, and we're going to push this area. And I think Musk realized when he got big, he said, wait a minute, I'm doing all these great things for the planet. I'm basically the only guy in the world who pushed the electric battery. And when you really think about it, nobody gave a crap about electric cars. And he says, I can not only do this, I can make it cool, I can make it effective, I can do this. And you know what? Richest guy in the world right now. But this really only happened, when you think about it, less than 6 years ago. I mean, look at all the success he's had in 6 years, and look at the way people turn on him. How are you spending your money? And now he's the villain in the scenario when the dude probably came up with a way that actually might turn, some of the problems we're having around. I mean, we didn't care about house batteries and things like that. I mean, look at solar, for example. Electric companies don't want us to do solar. They don't want us to do batteries. And this guy's actually figured out a way to improve that stuff. So why would he be doing this? And he's doing it because he wants the free exchange of ideas without political benefit. Because even when we're having this argument about Disney, there's always going to be a political imagine the people who control information control it from a certain side, whether it be Fox News or CNN. I mean, even our Supreme Court right now, how is it possible that, the most brilliant scholars in the world, somehow 50% believe it's one way and 50% believe it's another?
Yeah.
It's because they're basing stuff based on their political opinions.
But here's the thing with the information, Jeff. You got to get your information from somewhere, right? So it's easy. People have to get their information from somewhere, right? Unless you go out.
Should it be from a post? What should it be from?
Should it be from the accumulation of everything you see, taking what you feel is the same throughout? Otherwise, you're saying don't trust anything you ever read and stay ignorant, right? Like if you can't trust, like the numbers I was given earlier, just to go back, the numbers I was given earlier about taxes, that came from Scott Randolph, who's the tax collector of Orange County, who I feel.
So it's what Disney keeps.
What's that?
Did he also mention the 100 million Disney keeps?
Yes, he was talking about all the other tax breaks that Disney has.
No, not a tax break. I'm talking the 100 million he gets back that Disney doesn't give. They keep, and they pay for things with that money.
Right. Yes. That wasn't there.
So of course it's not there.
So it was there. That's what I'm saying. It was there. So that's what I'm saying. Before numbers that come from the person who's elected to take care of taxes in Orange County, and you say, hey, you can't believe everything you read. Well, if I can't believe that from that guy, where should I be going for information about things?
An elected official? I don't know.
Okay, well, DeSantis is an elected official, so I should believe everything he says.
What I'm saying to you is he's an elected official too, so you're believing.
Well, that's why I'm asking you, Jeff. Where should I go for information, or should I just go all information is wrong and sit around and not get involved and stay ignorant of things? That's why I'm asking you.
Well, do you think you're more ignorant by learning stuff off Facebook than trying to learn
I'm
it
trying to get a direct answer rather than doing
answer question. But he keeps saying he's not getting his info from Facebook.
I would look at file documents. I would look at tax documents. I would look at things like that. I just wouldn't rely on somebody's opinion, or because as a lawyer, and guess what? I get paid to take the truth and to spin it my way. What do you think in a courtroom?
I didn't know that about you.
Or everybody's wrong. Yeah. I mean, think about every lawyer anybody in this room has hired. You might not have been right, but you wanted that lawyer to fight for you to be right, and that's exactly what politicians do.
I just think it's an easy way to end a conversation when all you ever have to say is like, "Oh, you read it there," or "You saw that." So it's just it doesn't solve anything. You don't move further. You don't have a conversation about it. If you automatically assume the other side's facts are all wrong and they assume your facts are all wrong, then you leave that conversation the same way you went into it, right?
Well, I try not to go into it with an argument or a political motivation, but I can't control what happens. For example, I lost a couple good friends because they went off the deep end with their politics, and I could care less. You know, I don't care what you are. I'm independent. I see things a certain way when I discuss a topic. I try to discuss it from, you know, I like DeSantis. Of course, he's a Republican, and of course, you know what happened was you had two people fighting, and both lost, and that's the way it works. But if I run a company, I have to decide exactly, are my opinions more important than the future of my company?
Yeah.
And anytime you say no, you affect, you know, he's still going to get his millions of dollars while employees get cut off. I mean, I was in a restaurant the other day that had maybe 10 employees because everything's counter now. They have no waiters. Right. And there are a lot of jobs that don't exist now on the lower levels because of this stuff. And people don't understand. Big companies are going to figure out ways to get paid. And who gets hurt? The guys at the bottom. And that happens everywhere.
And with Disney, like, voicing their opinion against this legislation, isn't that the same as these big oil companies paying lobbyists to get politicians in their pocket? Like, everybody, when you say
who is there,
what's that?
Who is their opinion?
Who is there? What do you mean?
So was he speaking for every employee that worked there?
What's that?
Or was he speaking? Or is he speaking for the loud few?
Okay. I'm asking you: is this the same, Disney having a stance on something like this, as an oil company paying lobbyists to go get politicians in their pocket to push their agendas and beliefs?
It's actually the opposite. One's doing it for the benefit of the company, and the other one's doing it for the detriment of their company. When you pay lobbyists, you're hoping every money, so that you know, every dollar that gets donated to a campaign, they're expecting a 7-to-1 return on that. Yes. Whether it's being a bill or something else. So nobody gives money to politicians because, oh, this guy's going to take care of me. No, it's all about getting that money back somehow. So when you donate to a campaign here, you're hoping that he can benefit you in a regulation somewhere else, or add a benefit to every bill that gets passed has all that fluff at the back end. And those are for the people who donated to campaigns. So an oil company who spends millions of dollars to get tax breaks and benefits and be able to drill, they're doing that for the benefit of their company. This guy didn't do it for the benefit of his company. He did it to the detriment of his company.
But what was his purpose?
I think Legoland's behind all this.
He wanted to save face. He wanted to save face.
To save face, because he thought that bill was something against his employees, right?
People were yelling at him to say something,
right? Because they felt it was against.
3 weeks.
He's got a large LGBTQ community working for him, and he thought he was doing something for his employees, right?
He thought he was speaking because they demanded he said something. If he cared about it, he would have said it when it originally came out.
Okay.
How long did the
same way that DeSantis really cared about Reedy Creek being their own thing, he would have said something before they went against his views, right?
I told you that 2 people decided to throw their stuff out on the table, and we all lost.
And that's what happened. And everybody else becomes collateral damage, right?
That's what happens in politics. Yes.
Yep.
2 people go against each other and fight for no reason, and everyone gets hurt. So it's not a one-sided thing here. Everyone had a piece of this one. You know, he could have just said, I'm against it. I don't believe in it. But when he says, I'm going to pony money up to get this bill overturned, he got involved. And not just his opinion.
Both of them like, yo, you heard what DeSantis said?
Yeah.
Yo, the mouse can't
All
talk.
I'm saying is, I don't trust DeSantis because I heard he eat ginger snaps, bro. Because any man that eat ginger snaps,
well, guys, we have about a minute left. Real quick, guys, where are you going to be at this weekend? Ken, what you got going on, man?
I'm chilling this weekend, brother. I'll probably go see Michael Collier at the Improv Saturday night. My wife has an event, so I'll be sitting home looking stupid. So I'll probably go to the Improv.
There you go. Miguel, you out on the road this weekend, or are you staying
I'm doing something cool this Friday. I'm going up again with that Coast Guard chopper, and we're going to go on the recovery for the launch that's coming back down. It's not a human recovery. It's just going to be a vessel recovery. And
that's huge.
It's so cool, man.
Cool, man.
Oh, man. Get a lot of pictures, please. Yes, please. Get some video.
Don't fall in the water, blood.
What you got going on, man?
I have something amazing going on. My son Devin is actually getting his bachelor's degree this weekend from the University of Florida. That's right. But he's not done. He's still staying in for one more year because that's all he has left to get his master's in mechanical engineering.
Nice.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
It sounds like the college is his master, but that's all I'm saying.
You out somewhere wrestling or giving legal advice or touring the countries? What you got going on,
Well,
man?
we got our podcast Under Oath and our show that airs on 104.1 early morning. We got our 12th show where every week we seem to be times in our podcast by 20%. You can find that at Under Oath Radio at on the I think it's the iHeart app.
Yeah,
nice.
So,
And
very
this
nice.
Saturday night, April 30th, 8 p.m., I'm going to be over at Game On in Avalon Lake, or Avalon on Avalon Lake Drive, with Kevin White, Steve Joyce, JP Lambias, and Helmut Wizik. It's a new room. I've heard great things about it. Can't wait to check it out. Hey, folks, thank you so much for tuning in and listening to us tonight. On behalf of all the guys here at Real Laughs, if you like this episode or any other episodes, go ahead, check us out over on the iHeartMedia app, or you can find us on Google, Spotify, YouTube. Ken throws up some clips every now and then. Just Google Real Laughs. We're all around. On behalf of James John, Ken Miller, Miguel Colon Jr., and Jeff Kaufman from the law offices of Kaufman and Lynn, thanks for tuning in, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Good night.